Well, good evening, folks. I hope everyone is doing well. I said I'd pop on since, it was a good result tonight for St. Mirren. And it's time for Celtic, obviously, to get points tomorrow up in Batodry against Aberdeen to obviously, close the gap down to 3 points. But, yeah, good results for tonight for the Saints. Feeling a bit more optimistic. Obviously, we brought players in last night. We brought 3 players in last night. The transfer window was very underwhelming because there wasn't a penny spent. But a lot of fans today on social media, like Facebook and stuff, counter the opinion by saying, "Oh well, we're trying to be smart here because we don't have a manager until the summer. We don't know how these players are going to be. Maybe we are right not spending the money on these players and all this stuff, but we should have been going out and buying players anyway. To be honest, like set out for the future, regardless who the manager is. Managers come and go. Well done to the Saints. What I will say is, I joined the collective meeting earlier on, and a lot of Celtic fans are in agreement. CSCs, fan media, the collective, that there's going to be a boycott on Saturday for the cup game against Dundee. There's like over 30,000 tickets still on sale. It just shows that people are fed up with the board as well. So so there we go. Boycott is agreed for Saturday, and you know what? The board need to wake up because fans are pissed off, but really pissed off over what's happening over the last year or so. So look, well done to St. Mirren. I said I'll pop on tonight for about half an hour to 40 minutes max. I will be on live tomorrow before the game, and I might do a watch along for the game as well. I'll see what mood I'm in tomorrow as well. Imagine we kept with Martin O'Neill. Exactly. If we kept with Martin O'Neill and didn't get that con managing in, Nancy would be flying right now. We would be actually relaxed. The collective would be still there. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, the situation with the Green Brigade as well, not being in the stadium, it's pissed off a lot of fans as well because the atmosphere is flat. We're getting doses of songs being sung within the terraces, and we have to win tomorrow. We have to win. Simple as we have to win tomorrow. Derek McInnes was absolutely raging tonight. But look, if they had Shankland and Devlin, it would have been a different story. If you were 11 men, it could have been a different story. But the fact is, St. Mirren came up with a goal. Finally, they scored home for the first time in 4 games. They've had a hangover since they beat us in the cup. But look, we're all St. Mirren fans tonight, and they've done the job. They've done the job there. So that will sting the Jambo's arse, you could say. It'll sting them tonight because that will have a bit of a downer on them, Is Trusty suspended tomorrow? I'm not sure, actually. Is he suspended tomorrow? I'll check it up. Check it up now. See if he is suspended. Austin Trusty. It's crazy to think that he was linked with a move to Florentina as well. I don't think he's suspended tomorrow. Yeah, he has only 1 yellow card in it's saying here in the league. That can't be right. With a red card as well in there as well. But I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you. But look, we have that centre back. We're after bringing in Benjamin Arthur as well from Brentford. We have Muvaka that's after coming in. He can play right wing, also right wing back, but we'll obviously be playing the Mexican guy right back, or to be Donovan. I wouldn't even putting Tony Ralston even in that conversation to be starting the game tomorrow up in Pittodrie. Simple as, he's too slow. We need to be on our game tomorrow. I know Aberdeen are in the recruitment of trying to get a manager, and they've been getting players in and out this window. But look, it's what Celtic do tomorrow. And we start with Ingles, we start with McGregor, we start with Negrin, Benjamin Negrin. This is the place where they opened these accounts in Pittodrie. So do you think the Ox is worth a punt? Yeah, I would go for him. Obviously, he's been training with Arsenal. Arsenal trying to hijack the deal of him. Martin O'Neill confirmed today he had a productive conversation with him. He seemed excited about the conversation that Oxlade-Chamberlain had with Martin O'Neill. So there's going to be offers for Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'm sure Premier League teams are going to offer as well, especially with the money they have at their disposal. But if we were to get him, I'd take him on an 18-month deal. You know, give him half of this season, and then give him this half of this season, and then next season, and see what he's made of. To be honest with you, yeah, he's 22 years of age. He's injury prone, but we need someone as well to cover Callum McGregor in that position as well, because we don't have a defensive midfielder that we can call upon that can do that position. You know, the only guy that was closest to that position was Awata, and then obviously we let him go to Birmingham. But 36 people tuning in tonight. Get the comments in. Hopefully, this will be a sting in Hearts' confidence. It's a big night in the title race, but there's no point of celebrating too much, because if we drop points tomorrow, we draw tomorrow, it doesn't matter. You know that way. It means that we've just literally got false hope up, and if we draw or we lose tomorrow, we'd be pissed off. So we need to go out tomorrow and smash Aberdeen. You know, hopefully we'll see a couple of debuts. Hopefully we might see Junior start. We might see Mavuka start. I don't know about Benjamin Arta starting. It could be obviously Tomasz up front. I would start with the Czech forward. I would actually bench Dazen Maeda tomorrow. So I'd play Yang on the left, Mavuka on the right, if he's fit to go, which he was training today. Benji, Cal, Ingles, Tierney. I doubt Sarachi could be in for the chance tomorrow. I know he's obviously been injured for the last couple of months, but obviously he's been training with the squad as well. So Sarachi could be in contention as well to be back in with a chance of playing for Celtic. Which, look, I like Sarachi, you know. Sack the boycott. The team needs all the support. Look, hold on a minute. I understand where you're coming from. At the same time, it's not negativity. These fans are looking to get change from the top. They've tried lots of things and it's been effective. I'm completely with them because I can see where they're coming from. There's no point to keep saying they're not doing it for the success on the pitch. They're doing it for overall what the board are doing to you as fans. They're after taking a portion of the ultras out Celtic Park, which is no atmosphere now. They don't want to spend money. They didn't care about Champions League qualifier. It's affecting the team every week. How is it affecting the team every week when we're still in the contention of a title? How is it affecting the team? We're 6 points off. Nancy was shy. Nancy was a board appointment. So we need to get the board out. And at the end of the day, they are supporting the team. Maybe people are fed up paying fucking an extra 25 quid for what? Getting screwed over and giving them more money. There's thousands of fans that could take them tickets up if they want to. You know, there's thousands. But I'm agreeing with the collective. I think, you know, you have to make statements somewhere. You have to make statements. There's no point to keep fucking pushing this under the carpet. Push it under the carpet, regardless winning or losing. You have to make a statement to this board that they're a fucking joke. They're a joke. There's too many happy clappers. I know he's won success, but you're getting absolutely mauled every fucking season. You're not getting your money's worth dealing with that shit. We're not getting investment into the squad. And you keep saying back the team. Yes, there's fans going that will back the team. There's fans that will go and watch matches. There's fans that will watch matches on telly. There's fans that pump the money in. There's fans that care about Celtic. But at the end of the day, this board needs to change. They don't want to engage with fans. They don't want to give a bit of clarity. They don't want to put a vision out there and tell Celtic fans where we're going. It's all about statements. It's all about ripping the piss out of Rangers. But yeah, they can't even sort out their own fucking problems. You know? Like, you're basically saying, but against the boycott. Like, why? Majority, like, I was in that meeting tonight. 85% of people were in for a boycott. And there was a lot of fucking fans there. A lot of fans. A lot of people. People that have been going to Celtic games for years upon years. People that run CSCs. People that run fan media pages. People that do loads of stuff regards to Celtic. So are they bad people because they want to boycott games because they're hurt? Because the way they're getting the club is getting the way the club is being ran to the fucking ground. If I wasn't Martin O'Neill in charge, I guarantee you'd be pissed off and angry. You know? Like, no, I'm all in for it. I don't care. Like, I know I don't go much to the games, but I completely understand where they're coming from. You know? Like, I think a lot of yous are just don't give a shit. He's moan, but you don't give a shit. You don't care about Celtic the way you should care. That's the God honest truth. You don't. You want the team to be successful, but yeah, where does the money come from for the team to be successful? The board. When we make decisions, when we sell players, when we bring players in. So if you want that slice of the cake, you got to see it being done properly and being produced properly. Like, fucking, the place is like a library at the moment. It's like a library. It's like a library, and you pay fortunes every season, and you're paying fortunes every season, and you're getting your money's worth this season. That's the thing. Are you getting your money's worth this season? Because I guarantee there's loads of people in this podcast that are probably agreeing with me. And I respect where you're coming from, that you want to go and see your team and you don't want to think of all this shit that's going on, as you want to call it. But no, you know, something needs to be done. Dermot Desmond is literally running this club into the ground. Running a majority shareholder with his whole fucking 35%. Like, Michael Nixon doesn't give a fuck about the Celtic fans. Chris McCoy doesn't give a fuck. Brian Wilson's been asked 3 times to meet up and engage with Celtic fans, and he don't care. You know, the club is built on helping others. They won't even help their own fans. Simple as. So, whatever you want to do on Saturday, if you want to boycott the game, that's your decision. If you want to go to the game and support your team, do it. But I'm making it clear, like, I wouldn't be going anyway. I wouldn't be paying them 25 fucking quid for half a stadium full. You know, we all want to win the Scottish Cup. We all want to win the Europa League. We all want to win the league. But it's hard when they brought in players. But what if these players don't click? What if these players actually don't click? What if one of them performs well and the rest of them are fucking duds? You know? Like, I just honestly can't get my head around some of people's opinions. You know, and I can't agree with everyone and we disagree, but at the end of the day, I'm going to say what I say. My head has been fucked since Bayern Munich. Simple as. My head has been fucked because we had a team that was competing in the Champions League, and then we fucking won a couple of, you know, decent games after in the league, domestically, won the league, and then it went to shit. And people are just pulling it under the fucking carpet. Put under the carpet. Like, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Keep the Paris coming on to talk about, oh yeah, again, the board's this, the board's that, the board's this. Yeah, it's every single week. Nothing has changed, but they are making strides. More people, you've just seen it on the weekend. People got up off the seats and start clapping and saying they hate the board. So there is strides being made, you know. The players leave for more wages. Yes, the players do leave for more wages, but I'm talking about getting players in. Getting players in is the importance. So when players that leave for wages and leave for decent transfer fees, well done on that. We bought a guy for 3 million, we sold him for nearly 20 million or whatever. Just like prime example, fair dues. But that money is not being reinvested in a level. Matt O'Reilly was sold for over 25 million. We got Arnie Ingles in for just below 12. And look at Arnie Ingles. It's just the noise that our rivals are feeding off. I don't give a fuck about our rivals. I don't give a fuck about Hearts. I don't give a fuck about Rangers. What I give a fuck about is Celtic fans and their club. I don't care what they think. We don't care what the animals say. That cliche. Who gives a shit? Who cares about them? Let's care about our own shit. If you want to win the title, and if you want to believe in your club and you want to believe in them players, yeah, go to the games. But there is going to be certain games that need some people to look out from the outside and realize how bad this board has taken the fans for a riot. You need to understand this. There's no point of saying, oh yeah, the board did do this. But yeah, I'll sit there and I'll give them 500 quid a month or 500 quid a year. Yeah, like, oh yeah, the board are bad. But yeah, it's, having that little conversation with your pal in the pub doesn't make you fucking any better. Do something about it. Do something about it. Like, there's a waiting list still bigger there, yeah. But I guarantee you, a lot of people will withdraw their waiting list if we fail this season. If we fail this season, if we continue to go down this down spiral, regardless who comes in next season and doesn't work for them, you're going to see them stands like the days of Ronnie Doyle. If this keeps going on with this Celtic board, we've 80 million in the bank and you didn't spend a fucking penny. Didn't spend a fucking penny. They were close to spending 6.5 million on a Serie B winger. And he decided that he didn't want to join Celtic. Instead of a team in Serie B because he wants to push for promotion. And that's his own decision. That's his own decision. Like a rant on YouTube for clicks. No, I don't give a shit about clicks. I don't give a shit about subs. I'm passionate. I'm passionate for what I do. And if you don't like my channel, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Go enjoy someone else's channel. I do what I do. Simple as. You don't like the opinion, that's okay. I can't win everyone over, but I win once what I say, that's the most important thing to me. Agree with the board, exactly time. Agreeing the board has to change. Exactly time. Look, it's like absolute joke. Just seeing your channel, yeah, a loan fee, but it's not a permanent transfer. It's an option to buy. I'm not going to be here to be educated by someone that's trying to tell me how to run my channel or saying the clicks are that. I'll just block you. Simple. I don't need to be so-called, fact checked. I'm not a fucking citizen journalist. I'm just a guy in the camera talking about how passionate I am about my club. All right? So I respect what you're trying to say, but at the end of the day, I'll say what I say. I don't need this fact-checked stuff. Oh, 500k. I know. I'm not stupid. I do my research. Before I fucking come on. I know that. Like, it was meant to be a permanent transfer. The medical there was complication with the medical. They reorganized it. Yeah, I know there's players there was a loan option to buy. Like Jota, like Carter Vickers. But where's Jota and Carter Vickers now? They're injured. They're on the treatment table, and it's unfortunate for them, but at the same time, they're getting a full fucking wage for being out for so long. And I do have sympathy for them, but at the same time, they should be getting a reduced wage. Like any footballer should be getting a reduced wage. Because if they're not playing, they're not contributing, they're not helping us win a title, they're sitting there on the treatment table, or they're refusing selfies in fucking Glasgow airport, or they're refusing to do podcasts, they're refusing to be a proper Celtic player. What the fuck? Like, I'm grateful for what Carter Vickers has done in his time at Celtic, but at the same time, he's been more injured and not even being consistent for the last 2 years. Since Ange has left, he's not the same player. It's not the same player. His attention levels have pure declined. You look at the Champions League games last season. Fucking misread passes, on goals and all. Like, he's not the same Carter Vickers he once was. And if I had my way, I'd cash out and get rid of Carter Vickers in the summer. Even if you take 4 or 5 million for him. Let him go. Thank you for your service. He's been a rock. He's probably been our best defender since Virgil van Dijk. But you need to move these players on. The hunger is gone out of them. They've had their glory. They've had their fucking their stages and their parades and whatever they've had. They've moved on. Like, mentally, they moved on. You know. So yes, he has been our best defender, but he's not. Where is he? Where is he? We need him now. You need players like that now. Unfortunately, he's injured. Like, Jota's been injured since Tannadice when he picked up that injury. You're paying these players fucking, what? Nearly probably 60 grand between the two of them. For what? To sit there on the hole and do nothing? Yeah, they may be walking in the background in the gym trying to get themselves back together, but we need leaders. There's no point paying these guys 30 grand a week if they're not there. And doing their posters. You know, I'm rootless. We need leaders. And Celtic should have gotten leaders in this transfer window. Look, I'm looking forward to seeing what we brought in. I really am. Considering, you know, Junior only scored 2 goals in 18 games, but it's a new club, it's a new adventure. Let's get behind them. Let's get behind Mavuka, even though he hasn't been really comprehensive in his career. A whole 11 goals he scored. Very skillful, but you know, it's about goals and assists. It's about getting out there and doing something, because them guys are never going to feel it. The pressure they've had in their career has been, okay, someone of Bodo Glimt, playing for Salzburg and stuff like that, but when they go to Celtic, it's a different fucking level. Different level. You know? Will we sack them? No, if a player's not consistent over a space of 2 years, you need to evaluate and say to yourself, right, we have this guy on a long-term deal. We're not really getting our money's worth here out of this guy. Should we listen to offers? Should we let the guy go? That's what you do. You evaluate it. Simple. If they're not producing the goods, and if someone's out all the time out work sick and you've targets to hit, are you gonna bring them into the office and question? Say, right, what were we moving here? Unfortunately, yes. People do get sick, people get injured, but we're moving forward here. We're not moving backwards. You know? Too many parachutes, too much fucking dead wood, you know? Well, double figures in Scotland. I hope so. You know, I hope you're right. And, you know, Scotland's a hard league. People take Scottish football for granted. Look at Aaron Ramsey, thought he was fucking coming into it and being Zidane, and he was a flop. You know, players like that. Freddie Ljungberg, pure flop, you know. Hell, Keith, I'm the same as you. I am 69, and all this before I want us being bigger stadium. But they don't want to put the money in. Simple as. You know. Everybody out, no honouring contracts. Thanks for contributing tonight, but I can't be arsed reading your comments, honestly. I think majority of people are in agreement that, you know, I say what it is. I just can't be arsed reading stuff like that. Like, you're saying double figures. Yeah, there's time to score double figures, but I hope to do it. You know, I hope to do it. And I think it's we're not here to divide fans in any shape or form. We're all Celtic fans. We all want to be successful. We all want to see Martin and Sean and Fozzie and Stephen McManus and Gavin Laptop Strachan be successful and win us the league. And we have a great chance tomorrow to cut the gap, because Hearts slipped up tonight. But you know, at the end of the day, you have to be ambitious in every aspect. You have to be ambitious in your B team. You got to be ambitious in your recruitment. You got to have the best data and analytics. You know, you got to have the right man in charge. You got to have a director of football. You got to have a board that listens to your fans. You got to have a board that actually, you know, speak up and say when they get it wrong, they get it wrong. They never ever. Michael Nicholson, when Wilfred Nancy was announced as manager, I didn't see a press conference of Michael Nicholson or Chris McCoy sitting beside Mr. Wilfred Nancy. Nah, Paul Disdale, you know, he was the chopper, you know, that way. People need to understand, if you want to be successful and if you want to move to a level, which we should have went up a level in the summer instead of going down maybe 2 fucking levels, you got to invest. You know, investment pays off. But when you look, as I said, we got 5 players in this window. Johnny Kenny's gone on loan to the Bolton to League One. I wish them the very best. You know, Toby's gone on a permanent. We kept Arnie Ingalls, which is, I think that in itself is a big statement, because usually the board would run when you get a sniff of money. You get a sniff of money. I'm surprised they didn't shit the cax when 20 million came in, to be honest. So I'll give them some credit due there that they did hold their ground, because Martin O'Neill said it on Sunday. He's impressed on Arnie Ingalls. There's a player there. I think there's a player there, but he needs to prove himself in the trenches for half of this season. And Martin O'Neill hinted that he spoke to the agent, said, oh, well, he's happy here, evaluate the summer. He'll probably want to move after the World Cup if he makes the World Cup squad for Belgium, you know? So I hope he's enjoying the podcast tonight. You always get one that needs to come on. It has to be like, are you using this for clicks? No, mate, look at my channel. I've done over 2,000 videos. I have over a couple of million views. Who cares? Who cares? I don't judge myself on views anymore. I used to, but now it's all about engagement, you know? They're not embarrassing. Like Gaddafi, look at, they're not, like, these are people that have been supporting the club as long as you, putting my money in. Like, that's, like, you saying that, they're not embarrassing fuds. Maybe they're just angry and upset. By them going to the games, it's still not, it feels like the message is not getting across. They, you know, you have to make decisions. Actions speak louder than words. And I'm all in. I think it's the right decision to do. You know? Did you block him? I just mute him. I can't be arsed with that shit. You know, I can't be arsed, you know. And he probably is a nice person, but not tonight. I can't be dealing with that stuff. Like, I get enough crap on Facebook when I give my opinion about how I feel about the Celtic board, but we still get all the happy clappers. Still the happy clappers. And you say, oh, I'm not a happy clapper. Well, clearly you are. You're on the board side if you're happy clapping. Like, can you not see there's wrong here? There's passionate fans that want a change at the top, but you not saying going side with them, but you like going against it is showing that you're still with the board in some aspect, you know. Like, there's people on these comments that have been watching Celtic since they're like 70 years of age, and even they're saying boycott. For fuck's sake, like, this is not a case where it's coming out for the sake where, okay, we've had 4 bad defeats, let's boycott the club. It's the logistics of Celtic Football Club. If you can't operate from the top, good, you're gonna be brutal. Everything else, your operations is gonna fall to shit, and already has. Everyone talks about B team players. These boys are all going down to English football and going to other clubs because, number one, the board do not take chances with these guys. They don't want to give them the professional contract, give them a go on the first team. Yeah, Ben Dope wanted to go to Liverpool. I don't blame him. If you're not really getting a chance at Celtic, would you want to go to a club like Liverpool? You'd be gone. You'd be gone. You're getting offered 3 times the wage. You'd be gone. And I don't blame these players. I honestly don't blame them. It's their careers. Yeah, they might grow up Celtic fans and they relish up coming through the youth academy. But if they're not getting the opportunity to prove themselves, not even in a League Cup game or maybe a Scottish Cup game, even a half an hour, you'd be saying to yourself, right, look, I'm 18 years of age now, 19 years of age. I have an agent now. What am I doing? Am I getting the fuck out of this club because Peter Lawwell doesn't want to sit down with my family or my agent? Well, was Peter Lawwell, or am I going to move? You know, you got to think, like, As you always say, football careers are quite short. You got to make what you have, the opportunities. And I look at like Daniel Kelly. Yeah, Daniel Kelly's only played like 19 games for Millwall, and he hasn't been the most comprehensive player. But Millwall are pushing for promotion. Now he's injured at the moment, but they're pushing for promotion. You know, the Saints are matching in. Yeah, that's it. Like the prices, everything's gone up. Everything's gone up. And look what we've seen that has happened. Celtic Football Club have put the away jerseys down halfway through a season. They haven't done that. The last time they done that was back in the last season of like. That was the last time they done that. So it just shows that this is being effective. This campaign of the collective is being effective in some aspects. People are not buying juices. People are not buying pies. They're not buying their Curry's chips. They're not buying the match programs because they're fucking done in. Some people are done in, some people are just not. And I respect the people that are in these comments and they don't want to do boycotts. At the end of the day, no one's putting a gun to your head. You do what you do. You pay your money. You go to the game. You support your team. But if you feel like you're getting shafted and you feel like you are just a peasant and you feel like you need change, you do something about it. That's all I would say, you know. Danny, good to see you in, by the way. There's no consortium waiting in the wings. So we just get behind the team. We all want our team to be run better, you know, better operations, you know. So Marco Polo, good to see you. I haven't seen you in ages. I like the picture, by the way. Is that Nicholas Kuhn with the Ballon d'Or? He won't be getting that Ballon d'Or. I think he got his first goal the other day for Como as well. Why are people even bothered about boycotts? Let the people do what they want. After the Cardiff fiasco, I boycotted the Europa League games. Fair play to you. Quite frankly, against Dundee, we should be fine with no fans in the stadium. Look at Dundee. Dundee are a good team. They are a good team. And you know what? I'm quite surprised that Luke McCown didn't go back on a loan move to them, to be honest. Fans taking a ride for years now. You are right, Danny. It's good to see the engagement in here. Where's me shout out? Shout out to that fabulous man up in Belfast, Paddy Lafferty. Paddy Lafferty, what an absolute stunner of a man, you know. I look forward to meeting you one day, Paddy, and giving you a big hug, and we'll have a good old deep chat about Celtic. Shout out to Paddy Lafferty in the gaff, smoking the cigar with the Martin and the glasses on. There's your shout out. Who wants a shout out? Shout outs for galore. By the way, no one's copped this. Look at that bad boy. Shh. Look at that bad boy. I got that on Timu. Yeah, Timu. Yeah. So I'll put that up. The 40 Clover. The 40 Clover, you know. So yeah. Imagine getting lectured on your own channel for being passionate. Get the fuck. Graham Norton chair. Boom. Bob's your uncle. Oh God. I just, you know, like I can't win everyone over. I can't win over, but I know who people look. As I said, I'm gonna start doing this more often. I'm gonna start doing the videos as much as I can, you know. Yeah, like Celtic football should know the fan, like they should be giving something back to the fans. I know they do that pit stop for people that are like struggling for the hot plate. I can understand that, but like they should be giving stuff back to the fans. Like I've always said it, if you're a season ticket holder, give them 30% off all Celtic merchandise in the club store for the whole season. And if you're buying kids merchandise and their season tickets, they should be getting it for 50% off. If it's non-Adidas, if they want to go down that route, but they don't. You know, Celtic is a money machine in merchandise, and they've made enough money from Champions League revenue, from player sales, from Adidas sales. You know, it's just madness. Like, give something back to the fans. You know, that's just your Dublin anger coming out. Dublin anger coming out. Oh, I'm not even angry. It's just put it as it is. Like, I'm not here to win over people. If people like my stuff, they like me stuff. If they don't, go somewhere else. Go and watch someone else. I'm sure they're kind of hemming off the same team sheet, or if they're not, they're probably terrified to speak out about the truth. It's either one or the other. You know, I watch a lot of the podcasts, and when I'm working, and I'm like, some of the lads are really good, and some of them are just like, I'm like, fucking just say it, don't be afraid, just say it. You know, it's on the tip of your tongue, up the dubs. Martin O'Neill with the 5 new toys gives me confidence despite the internal unrest. If we got Oxlade chairman, that would be possibly crucial for our season. 100%. Bit of leadership, experience. He's worked with Klopp. I was going to say Clock. Jurgen Klopp, Arsene Wenger. And I was saying I had a lisp last night. Definitely have a lisp tonight. Give the Ox and the Sterling. I don't take Sterling trying to milk the cash machine. Definitely not. Sterling's a good player, but no, fuck that. Definitely not. Won't be touching him. That the strip you're wearing, Keith, came out in February 1995. Maybe the first time that's been happening mid-season. Well, I got this top off. What did I get? I got this top actually off another Celtic fan during lockdown. I did. So yeah, does the job. Mind you, George Guidetti, Pierre Van Hooydonk. You know, it'll be a good. Oh, Keith, it'll be a good night from. It's a good night from Dublin. Up the dubs. There's not many Celtic YouTubers that are from Dublin. There's not many. There's not many Irish Celtic YouTubers, to be honest. Like Enda was around for a while. Enda obviously moved on. He's doing other stuff like Joe and stuff like that, and off the ball. Fair play to Enda. There's a couple of lads from Belfast that do it, but I don't see many from South that do the channels. You know, that way I like to obviously collaborate with a few of them, but like, you know, see what happens. This is the thing. There's no point chasing people if they're not half-arsed for it. Hell, Keith, I know about the slaves and 5 kids. But yeah, see, that's it. Like, how's it going, Joe? I hope you're doing well. Like, how much is that costing you a season? Like once you pay that season ticket, you should be given some sort of incentives, some sort of like, you know, loyalty back for being a season ticket holder for so long. If you're a season ticket holder for more than 10 years, you should be getting a 10% discount instead of an increase. For the longer you support Celtic as a season ticket holder, you should be getting more prioritized. And I know they might say you get that preference for your league games, your Champions League games. Look at, for example, the friendlies. They charge you for the fucking friendlies. Newcastle. See, for the Champions League qualifier, but like the old days, you should be getting that Champions League qualifier. That's what you should be getting on your season book. But no, this is what we're dealing with. You know, thoughts on the Green Brigade, Keith? I think they'll band long enough. You need to get the Green Brigade back in. I know that not a lot of people's cup of tea, and a lot of people love them. And I'll say as it is, we need the Green Brigade back in. You know, I've heard a couple of representatives tonight speaking from the Green Brigade, and I can feel the hurt, you know, that way, being locked out, and they generate so much atmosphere. You know, they do their food banks, and I hope to get back in. I really do. At the end of the day, maybe 1 or 2 people could have been out of line. We don't know. I don't know the full story, but you don't penalise 300 odd people for 1 or 2 bad mistakes from individuals. At the end of the day, we need all fans to see it, you know. And this is what I said: if you get the Green Brigade back in, we will have a 12th man. At the moment, Celtic Park is like, what I'm watching on telly. I'm hearing the odds. Martin O'Neill being sung. That's all you're hearing. Like, if you want to be in this title race and you believe in your team, start singing. Don't be expecting other people to sing for you. They're not going to wipe your arse. You need to do it. Simple as. Don't know what to make of the signings from deadline day. Strange centre back is rather inexperienced. I think he was more so brought in to just, you know, in case we need him. In case. I completely agree with you. Three appearances for Brentford. Not a lot to be comprehensive about, but yeah. Why is people dependent on 250 people to get? That's what I'm saying, Sean. As I said, See these people that are sitting there and they're season ticket holders for years and they want Celtic to be successful. Do what you've done in the past. Sing for them. Sing for them. Get them through the games. You know? There's no point sitting there and being a potato on the fucking on the seat. Do something about it. Get up and start singing. You know? It only takes a group of 10 people to start getting everyone around them to sing, you know. And there's a lot of CSCs there as well, you know. Like if I had the money, I'd kill for a season book. I really would. But regardless, even the situation, I would kill to be at games, you know, that way. But I don't. I'm too busy with other stuff. I got my old tickets from the 95, 96 season that I used to buy for the man. Brilliant. Makes me laugh when people say the collective is only the Green Brigades. No, it's not. There was over 525 signatories. And I was one of them that signed it because of part of fan media. Well, I don't do the media, but obviously YouTube and stuff like that. Fan media are locked out of Celtic Park anyway. So they don't get to ask the important questions because they're locked out. But you know, you need to get the Green Brigade back. You need to get the fan media actually engaging with the club as well. But they don't want to engage at the moment, so the club don't want to engage with them. But look, it's more than the Green Brigade. There's the boys, there's CSCs, there's fan media, there's, you know, independent representatives as well. There's people that want to see change. They got away with a lot during COVID. And you know what sticks out in my mind? As I said, I love Neil Lennon as a captain, as a player, as a coach, and a manager at times. But the boy fiasco, when he started doing all this, it still sticks in the back of my head, like yesterday. And I understand Neil was under a lot of pressure. We were horrendous, and you know, when you're under pressure, sometimes you don't think straight. Sometimes the way Scottish media put them questions on you as well. And that was all Zoom and all that stuff back in the day. But yeah, I don't know. But look, tomorrow's a big game. What I'm gonna do is I am going to give us my team for tomorrow, right? I'm gonna put it up on the screen. I hope he's in fair play. Jesus, there were the days where you could probably get a bag of shit for £2. I'm gonna put this on the screen. I hope you are enjoying the podcast. I'll stay on for another 10 minutes or so. So I don't know if you can see that. So Schmeichel, which I'm hoping we should get rid of him now in the summer. I'm delighted he came in at the time, but I just feel like he's using it as a retirement stint, to be honest with you. That's the God answer. Do I think is he committed? In most aspects he is, but his performances are just some of the performances you say, geez, Christ, we should have a better keeper. I don't even have to spell that guy's name. Jesus Christ. Julian, where's my phone? So big Mexican player. Can never spell his name right. That's coming up fucking. There we go. Yep. He has a start tomorrow. He was actually brilliant against Falkirk. I'd love to see Sriracha back in some contention if he's good to go. Scales. I don't know what stories with Trusty. I'm just gonna put Trusty in because I don't know if he's suspended or if he's fit. I honestly don't know. We'll see tomorrow. And this is the thing about, like, when you're watching Martin O'Neill's press conferences, every time you ask for an injury update, it's like they cut it off, or a squad update, they cut it off. Like, obviously, be pushing these boys up. I'll go to the comments now in a second. Play Tomas Kavankara. Play Yang on the left. Let's see what this new guy is all about. Milvuka. Still down. So that's my starting lineup for tomorrow. Wouldn't touch Rio Atate, even though Rio Atate has had some really good performances against Aberdeen up in Pittodrie, some vital goals there. Benjamin Egrin, start him. Start Julian at right back. Start Tierney left back. Scalesy, Trusty. If not Trusty, if he's not fit, you put Dane Murray in because Welch is gone. I don't know about putting this guy in, Benjamin from Brentford, Benjamin Arthur. I don't know. I think it's a big game away from home. Let this, like, it's a lot of pressure to be put in. Play Yang on the left. Yang can be very effective on the left. Mivuka on the right, and Kavankara. And then you have the option if you could bring on Inacho, or you could bring on that guy Junior as well. So that's the team we go for against Aberdeen. But yeah, hoping Hibs will do us a favour next Wednesday. Oh, look, I wouldn't expect too much. Are Hibs home or away? I never knew you were on Twitter. I don't use Twitter, to be honest with you, or X. The only time I'd use it if I'm searching something or if I'm retweeting something in regards to Sky Sports News or Celtic or something like that. I don't really use it, to be honest. Thank you very much. Appreciate the £2. Thanks very much. CCV is done. No, I wouldn't play Maeda. I wouldn't play Maeda tomorrow. I think Maeda's form has dipped massively. He's half-arsed. Let him earn the shorts. Play Yang and bring Maeda away. And bring Maeda on. Hibs are away. So Tynecastle. Hibs might get a draw there, sneaky draw. Look at Gray's under pressure. They need to turn up. They're probably gonna struggle without Bowie, to be honest. Did they even get anyone in to replace Bowie? Hibs. I've seen a lot of fans on Twitter saying they are going on Saturday. Hopefully not true. Look at you. If fans want to go to the game, they want to go to the game. They love their club. If fans want to boycott it and they're fed up, let them do it. Simple as, you know. Keith, you've already made more than this board have spent in this transfer window. I know. I've made £9 in the last 24 hours. Go me. That'll get me a bag of cans at the end of the month. Thanks very much to Mark, and thank you very much for the other donation last night as well. But I'll be on live tomorrow night. I'll be on live about the game kicks off at 8. I'll pop on about 7:20 till about 10 to 8. And if I'm in the mood, I'm actually going to stay on and do a watch along. I'll see how I feel. Tomorrow. I'm not promising anything. I'll see how I feel. If I'm up for it, I'm up for it. If I'm not, I'll come on before and I'll do after as well. You know, it's a lot of time being stuck at the computer. Do it all day and work. Maeda Atate should be on the bench. Exactly. I hope the two of them are on the bench, you know. But my prediction for the game tomorrow, I'm gonna go. Let's look at Aberdeen's form. Actually, Aberdeen are always a difficult team. How are Aberdeen getting on lately? I know they're down the bottom. Oh Jesus Christ, they're doing horrendous. Well, actually, they beat Raith Rovers. They beat Livy 6-2, and they got beaten by Kilmarnock 3-0. Neil McCann's team. Jesus Christ. So where are they in the table? I think they're like 10th or something, are they? No, they're 7th. They've won one win in the league in 5, and that was against Livy. Jesus Christ. We should be beating these tomorrow. Definitely should be beating them. I'm gonna go 3-1. 3-1. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I know Kasper Schmeichel has been pulling off a few clean sheets recently. I just don't know. I just feel like he's not 100% reliable. to the level he was the previous season. I just think the Scottish Cup final drained out of him. You know, Keith, watch the Hearts game tonight. Hearts were rubbish. I watched it as well. I watched a good bit of it as well. Think St. Mirren had a really good few chances, especially in the first half. It definitely wasn't a penalty anyway. It was outside the box. But the Hearts keeper kept them in it for a good while. A boycott will accomplish feck all. Well, Sky, man's thoughts. We'll see what happens. You got to keep doing it and showing. You got to start making actions to not making actions. Simple as. What would you suggest? Because it's always good to hear from what other Celtic fans would suggest or what are annoyed at the current affairs of the board. So people that are not in for the boycott, what would you suggest? Some people are saying walk out in the 67th minute. Like, yeah, it's temporary. You're walking out on your team. Some people just don't want to go and support the team. It's not the end of the world if you don't get to see Celtic at Celtic Park. You can watch on the telly. You know, it's not a Champions League final. You know, patience. Rubber ducky, patience. Jesus, I don't have that. I don't have patience, and I'm sure a lot of these fans don't have patience the way that they feel. You know. But anyways, I'm gonna jump off in the next 3 minutes. I appreciate you all tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I hope hope I didn't bore the shite out of you as well. Do the huddle if you hate the board, home and away. It's a good point, Jamie. But you be doing the huddle, clap your hands. You know, there's other. But look at fans. Some fans are just want to see this being done, and some fans just don't want it. And it's look, as I said, everyone has different opinions on the situation with the board. But there will be a boycott, and it just depends. If it's large numbers, it will be effective, and you will talk about it. At least Jim McDonald is being killed off in Coronation Street. Oh, Jesus God. Paddy, you're on one tonight. You are on one tonight. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Oi, Keith, I'm all against the board, but get the lawyers in and earn money. Not look at what they realistically need is to get someone to come in and buy Dermot Desmond. buy as much shares as Dermot Desmond and actually hold these people accountable. That's what they really need. But the chance of that happening is a better chance of me winning the Euro Millions, to be honest. You know, as much as people want to promote and try to get down that route, you just need some mad American, like our Canadian, with Scottish or Irish roots, similar to Fergus McCann, coming in and buying a big chunk of shares in Celtic and being a majority shareholder. You know, that's what you need. Good results tonight for St. Mirren, up the Saints. So yeah, folks, if you can subscribe to the channel, it'd be really appreciated. Look, I'm not asking for much. All I'm asking is to sub to the channel. I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I know I'm some people's cup of tea, but honestly, it's the best policy we could say. I can't think of nothing better to do when I become a billionaire. Boy, Celtic. If I won the Euro Millions tomorrow, and I had if I got about 120 million there, I'd chuck 50 million into Celtic. I really would. You know, me walking around with the Elizabeth Lions blazer on, kilt, giving Rod Stewart a few deadeners in the arm. Him and his crony fucking champagne. Get the bow. Hurry up, Mark. Speak the most sense. I like Ryan. I really do like Ryan, but I don't know if Ryan. I don't know if Ryan would me and Ryan would actually be able to have a chat because look, Ryan's doing well. He's done well with his channels. He's by far he's the best. He's probably the best one I like watching because he's, you know, he doesn't blab on too long. You know, straight to the point. He sees it as it is. You know, he's not too green tinted as well, because sometimes I realized over the years of doing the videos, when you're too green tinted, you look back over a video, you look like a shite back. You can put completely wrong with the performance, completely wrong with your opinion that moment, because you're just so passionate about it. But now look, I do what I do. I'm happy with what I do. Patience. You gotta start go down to the shop and start getting yourself more tickets for the Euro Minions. That's what you need to do. Even do the Irish lottery or something, Mark. Start buying some money into crypto, will you? Bitcoin is dropping at the moment. It's down to 72k. Put yourself in that and let it pump back up to 100k, make some profit. You start buying some shares in Celtic. I'm not a financial advisor. If it was a financial advisor, I would be living in a better cap than this. After work. Thanks for the chat, gentlemen. All the best. Thank you very much. But folks, I'm gonna leave anyways. It was good chatting to you all. I'll be back on tomorrow night, 7:10. Please tune in if you can. Appreciate you all tuning in. Just remember, forms temporary, liquidations permanent. Up to St. Mirren. Hearts were coming for you. Derek McInnes, when you were sitting down that dugout, having a raging face, and see when they went to Shankland and Devlin. Oh, it was unbelievable. I didn't watch the post match. I'm sure Chris Boyd was having a little whinge that St. Mirren done Hearts tonight. Who are Rangers playing tomorrow? Actually, are Rangers playing tomorrow? You know. But back to that comment that guy said earlier on. Oh, like, you're giving fuel for the other mob. I don't care about the other mob. You know, Kilmarnock tomorrow at Ibrox. I can't see Kilmarnock doing them, to be honest with you, because Neil McCann be getting a sneaky envelope at half time if it's 0-0. Baz, thanks. Enjoyed the show. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Said. I'm glad you liked the jersey as well, but something different. I better go, folks. Speak to us all soon. Slán, how are you? Come here, Goods.